Today I'm going to show you how to sew a super easy freeze pop popsicle holder. The printable pattern pieces for this project are below in the link in the description box, or if you're watching from our website alohasewingcompany.com, welcome and sew along. So to make this, it is super easy. It comes in two pattern sizes. One if you have a toddler and you cut those popsicles in half like we do, or a bigger one for the larger ones. They are sewing up the same exact way. So go ahead and print that pattern piece out, cut it, and trace it onto your fabric. You are going to need two pieces of fabric, regardless of which one you're making, and your hook and loop. For your interior fabric for your holder, I would use something absorbent. I'm using some scrap minky that I had. You can also use fleece, flannel, a cut up towel, whatever you have on hand would be fine. So go ahead and get your top and bottom fabrics and lay them with the right sides together. That means the pretty sides of the fabric should be kissing. Then you're going to place two pins or clips at the bottom about 2.5 to 3 inches apart, so that way you remember not to sew that area closed. Now you're going to take this to your sewing machine and starting at the opening that you're going to leave, sew all the way around this, but leaving that 2.5 to 3 inch opening at the bottom. Start where your opening is going to begin, and I like to line up the fabric right there with my sewing machine foot to guide me, and make sure my top and bottom fabrics are always nice and even at the raw edges. Start and stop this project with a back stitch. If you have not sewn around corners before, get to that corner and leave your needle inside of your fabric. Lift your presser foot, rotate your fabric, put that foot back down, make sure it's lined up with the side of your fabric, using that as your sewing guide, and continue sewing. It's really easy. Don't be intimidated by that. This is a really fast and easy project, especially for a beginner. Here is mine sewn all the way around. It's about 1 centimeter seam allowance, and I left that whole opening down here at the bottom. Now you want to go ahead and clip off all 4 corners right up to the stitches, but not cutting through your stitches. We do this so that when we flip this right side out here in a second, you can poke those corners out nicely because there's no bulky fabric right there at the corners. So go ahead and flip this right side out, and then you're going to smoothen out your seams. Use your finger, a pen or pencil, whatever you have on hand. I'm using a bodkin, and a chopstick is a really great tool to use if you have one of those. Then I go ahead and I turn the whole opening fabric inwards so that it's flush with the rest of the seam on the outside by sticking my fingers in and just pulling that hole apart, and normally it'll just go right inside the way it should. Pin or clip that area in place, press it flat with your iron, and then you're going to top stitch around this entire square using about a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Stay right close to the edge. You're going to start sewing right where your whole opening is, and then going all the way around, remembering to start and stop with a back stitch. Here's mine all sewn. You can see I stayed right close to the edges using about a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Now let's add our hook and loop pieces. Fold your holder into thirds so that it overlaps in the back and leaves a little bit of space. Then on the left side where you folded this, go ahead and place one piece of your hook and loop. You're going to put the other piece on the inside of your holder right near the seam, and you're just going to put these mid-center. Go ahead and pin or clip those in place, and then staying close to the edge of your hook and loop, sew all the way around this rectangle. And again, if you've never sewn this before, don't be intimidated. You literally just stay right close to the edge all the way around and sewing that rectangle. Do the same thing on both sides of your fabric. Make sure that you don't start sewing right at the corners. Start a little bit down the side a little bit. And here this is all finished. It is a super quick and easy project and they are perfect. I have 4 children and we go through popsicles like crazy, and these are amazing to not have to waste our paper towels. And don't forget, you can get the printable pattern pieces for this in the link in the description box, or if you're watching from our website, alohasewingcompany.com, go ahead and print out your pattern and start sewing with me. I hope you enjoyed my sewing tutorial. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You have no idea how much it really helps, and you'll be notified anytime a new pattern is released, and that is super easy to follow because I gear towards beginners. I have patterns for children, for babies, for household stuff, for adults, clothing, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you check us out at alohasewingcompany.com. And before you go, mahalo.